Support for Sportspage is provided by First Central Bank, full-service banking from 6 locations in Warrensburg, Holden, Higginsville, and Odessa. More information is available on their Facebook page or at the website firstcentral.net. Member FDIC. By the University Store. The University Store is the official headquarters for Mules and Jenny's emblem clothing, gifts, and UCM memorabilia. Books, office supplies, art supplies, and more are available at the University Store, located on the lower floor of the Elliott Union on the UCM campus in Warrensburg. And promotional support for Sportspage is provided by 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of University of Central Missouri Athletics.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Central Missouri Sports Page, we'll talk to Mules basketball coach Kim Anderson about a very good week for him and his team. The Jennies basketball team picks up another exciting come-from-behind win, and Coach Dave Slifer will tell us how his team continues to find a way to win. In our Sports Page Spotlight, we'll get to know Mules standout decathlete Brent Vogel. So stay tuned. Your weekly inside look at UCM Mules and Jennies sports is next on KMOS-TV. Hello everyone, we're glad you could join us here on KMOS-TV. I'm Bill Turnage, sitting in for Sean Jones this week as he's in Houston with the Mules baseball team. I'll be here next week as well. Mules basketball finished the first half of the MIAA season in first place with a 2-game lead in the loss column. Joining us first tonight on the show is Mules head coach Kim Anderson to talk about a very good week for his team as well as for him personally. Kim, glad to have you with us tonight.
Bill, good to be with you.
Pretty good week for the Mules, and we'll talk about the games first. Saturday's 60-50 win over Northwest Missouri was your lowest scoring game of the season. Were you expecting that kind of game from the Bearcats?
Well, we did. I thought it would be a rough, physical type game. Normally when we get together, it's usually a pretty physical game, and I thought this one was no exception. I really was pleased with our defense. As much as anything, I thought we did a good job of covering their offensive stuff, their sets, and their screening offense, and it's something we'd worked on a lot. So all in all, I was pretty pleased. I don't really get too hung up on points as long as we have more than the other team does. I guess last night's a little different deal, but I thought our guys played well, and Northwest is a very good team. They were a game behind us at that point, and certainly that was an important game for us so that we could extend our lead a little bit. Instead of being tied, then we had a 2-game lead in the loss column.
I should point out that the 60 points, while they were the team low, the 50 points were pretty good too.
I thought that was pretty low too.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
It was close all the way through the first half, and then you broke the game open with an 8-0 run about midway through the second half. Some guys came off the bench again and helped you.
Yeah, our bench has really helped us out a lot this year, and what we've basically done, we've settled in on 8 or 9 players, and guys coming off the bench. In this game, Reggie Stallings was hurt, so Ryan Magjosh started in his place, and I thought he did an exceptional job. Chuck Hamrick has really given us a big boost off the bench. He's a guy who can make plays on the offensive end, and he's a good defender. He's long, he's got long arms, he's got good quickness, very good athlete, and he really can help us out on both ends of the floor coming off the bench. And then our big guys, Zach Bush and Alex Dean, I think have played really well the last couple of weeks. Alex had struggled for a while scoring, but he seemed to have come along really well and doing a good job on the boards and doing a much better job defensively. And then Zach brings a different look to the game. Here's a guy who's 6'6", 6'7", got long arms and can really block shots. And so he changes the game around a little bit, something that's a little different look than Matt Webb or Alex Dean does. So that group has done a good job for us. And I thought our bench play was good. And that's something that's I know we're going to need here as we go through this last part of the season.
If you or any coach were told that your starting center could average 16.3 points, 10.6 rebounds, have 31 blocks, and shoot 56.7% from the field, I think you automatically take that. And that's exactly what you're getting from those three guys you just mentioned.
Yeah, and that's kind of our philosophy on that. I really, those three guys are so close individually. You know, Matt's kind of separated himself a little bit just from the standpoint he's pretty skilled. He's probably a little bit better defender than the other two. And he makes free throws at a better pace. You know, Alex is a strong, physical, quick, slashing type guy. Has not shot free throws well, so consequently it's kind of hard to have him in the game late. And then Zach has just gotten better. I mean, basically Zach started off very, very raw. He's had to learn how to guard. He played a lot of zone, I think, in junior college, but he's gotten a lot better too. So those three giving us a double-double, that's kind of what we were hoping for as we went into the season. You know, in the Northwest game, that was a little different animal because they played big guys. They have big. I mean, we call them big four-man, big five-man. Whereas
6'10", 6'8".
Yeah, where we basically play four guards when we play Dominique Long, you know, and so we had the opportunity to play Alex and Matt and Zach, two of those three together. And I thought they did a good job. We work on that in practice a lot, but we just don't get the opportunity to use it because Damo plays so well at the four, and you know, he's shooting the ball so well. And the other teams in our league, by and large, play the same type lineup, four guards basically, and then one big guy. So I'm really pleased with our post position, especially the last couple of weeks. I think, you know, to be real honest, I think guys have put their personal minutes problems, aside and decided, hey, let's win basketball games. If I play 12 minutes, if I play 15 minutes, great. Just when I'm in there, I'm going to give them everything I've got. And I think they've done that the last couple of weeks.
Last night you started the four-game gauntlet, so to speak, in terms of the conference race. You're in first place when you got four straight on the road. You went to Lincoln last night. You win it 111-72. I know coaches are probably the hardest to please by a team's performance, but was there anything that you were really unhappy about in last night's performance?
No, I got to be honest, Bill, there was very little. I think, you know, the greatest thing is we came out and played in an attack mode. You know, they're a team who they really don't have a true post player, so consequently they play five guys out on the perimeter, which means you got to guard big guy on little guy. And I thought we handled it well. They maybe had a little run there in the first half, but you know, when I looked up at half and we were up 24, I felt pretty good, and I was really pleased that we didn't just settle. We had a little lull there for about 3 or 4 minutes in the second half, and then we continued to play hard. And that's what I was looking for. Guys made great passes. Widget made some great passes. Lance made some great passes. You know, we shot the ball well. Our defense was pretty good. You know, it was a wide open type game. I thought Charles Hammer gave us a big help off the bench. Ryan Magjosh, you know, Reg was back in the lineup. The bigs played well. So I mean, it's just one of those games where we played really well, and I think we caught them on a bad night, and consequently we were able to score a lot of points.
One thing that impressed me, and as we look at the video here, the Mules are in black, of course, and Lincoln is in the white, and there's the halftime score, 60-36. You had 60 points in the entire game Saturday against Northwest Missouri, and you get 60 at halftime against Lincoln. But to me, it looked like you were really performing at a high level in every phase of the game last night.
Well, rebounding was huge. There you saw Matt Webb with a tip in. You know, we out-rebounded them 54-26 or something like that. That doesn't happen very often, you know, and that I thought they got, and the stats reveal that their Widget really made some great plays, both for himself and for other people.
Yeah, he had 14 points, 9 assists.
Yeah, and I thought that our rebounding was good. They didn't get, there was a nice pass to Ryan, kind of a between the legs pass from Widget. They didn't get very many second chances. I think at halftime they had one offensive rebound. And so that's the thing I thought I was really pleased with the way we rebounded on both ends of the floor.
Another thing that impressed me about the way the Mules played last night was it looked like everybody out there knew exactly what he was supposed to do and did it.
Yeah, well, I hope that continues. It doesn't happen every night, but we ran the floor well. We played really unselfishly. I think, guys, obviously Damo scored 29 points there. DJ knocks down a 3 late in the game, which was good to get him in there to get some shots down. Dominique had 20 points at halftime, and the thing I was most pleased, I think, with him is that he didn't try to force things and get 40 points, in the second half. He ended up with 29, but I thought he got him within our structure and within the way we wanted to play. They just missed a nice lob pass from Wids to Chuck on a dunk.
If you're making a video of how you want your team to play every night, would last night have been it?
Well, I think it depends on the other team. Obviously the way we shot, the way we rebounded, the way we handled the ball. Andrew Whitehead got in late and made a nice jump hook, but if we could play with that type of defense, that type of defensive intensity, guarding the ball, Lincoln presents problems just from the standpoint that they do a lot of one-on-one dribble penetration. The middle of the floor is always wide open, and that's always tough to guard. And I thought we did a pretty good job of that last time.
You wind up with 5 guys in double figures. Everybody in uniform gets to play. Great night for the Meals. There you see the final score, 111-72. 9 straight wins now for the Meals. Dominic Long led the way with 29 points. As enjoyable as last night's win was, you get to go back out on the road Saturday to St. Charles and face a very good Lindenwood team.
Yeah, this is. I think this will be one of the tougher road games that we play all year. I would say Fort Hays obviously was a very tough game early in the year, but Lindenwood, if you look at the stat sheet, and you and I were talking before we went on the air, it doesn't look like we should be in the game. They really shoot the ball well. They out-rebound their opponents by 9. They do a pretty good job of taking care of the ball. They shoot more free throws than anybody else in our league. And their point guard, Alex Bazell, has shot somewhere in the neighborhood of 165 free throws. And we shoot free throws, and our best players only shot like 89. So a very, very tough game, I think, for us to go to St. Charles and play. They're going to have a great atmosphere. I think they're having a promotion to honor or to support one of their football players. Right. And, we're in the promotion run here. We had the promotion to free T-shirts last night. We're having free T-shirts and pizza, I think, Saturday. So, the Mules come to town. Let's have a promotion, and that's good because I think that creates a great atmosphere. It was a nice atmosphere last night at Lincoln. I thought the band was rocking. They were very loud, and I'm sure Saturday it'll be the same at Lindenwood.
That target on the Mules jerseys gets bigger every week, doesn't it?
That's part of it, and that's what we've talked about as a team, that hey, anybody who's in first place has a target on their back, and us being there, the target's probably a little bit bigger because most people don't like us. So we're hopefully we'll be prepared for that. Hope we play well.
With Lindenwood's shooting numbers, it's pretty obvious the Mules are going to have a tremendous defensive effort Saturday.
Well, I really think with Lindenwood, we have to make them uncomfortable, and I'm not sure how we're going to do that yet. And fortunately, it's only Thursday night. I've still got another little bit of time, but they execute very well, and they're very, very well coached. And somehow we have to push them out of their comfort zone, and they're going to play a defense that's a little bit softer. They're going to pack it in the lane. They're gonna dare you to shoot the jumper, and when you drive in that lane, there's going to be 3 or 4 guys waiting for you. So we have to handle that well. But we have to go play. I mean, it's not anything we haven't seen before. It's just a little bit different than what we played a few days ago. So I look forward to be a very, very tough game for us, and again, I think they're one of the better teams in our league. And hopefully we can go down there and play well. And if we do, then I think we'll have a chance to win the game.
Composure will be key for the Mules.
Yeah, because I do think they'll have a good crowd, and I think we'll have some people there too. I know we have a lot of alums in the St. Louis area, and I know I have some friends that are going to be there, and they're bringing 20 or 30 people, and so I mean it'll be a good atmosphere. It's a great arena, a beautiful campus, and it'll be our first trip down there, and I've been down there the last couple of years in the summer and on a recruiting trip, and I always scratch my head and think, why did we let these guys in the league? Because this is really a nice place, and so anyway, looking forward to it. It'll be another test for our guys.
The Mules football team faced a similar type atmosphere when they went down there in the fall and played, and they came away with a win. You may want to check with them and get some pointers on how to handle the crowd and everything else down there on Saturday. Kim, congratulations on the wins and the Hall of Fame induction that we're going to look at here in just a moment, and certainly good luck Saturday at Lindenwood.
All right, thanks, Bill.
As Kim mentioned, Sunday was a very special day for him and his family as he was inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame in Springfield. Our KMOS crew was there, and we'll take a look now at some of the highlights of a very special day for the Anderson family.
This February, explore African American history. Follow Whitney Young in his fight for civil rights.
He understood power and he understood people.
Remember television pioneer Alex Haley and his groundbreaking series Roots.
It was riveting. He was a master storyteller.
And celebrate the talents of Rosetta Tharpe, godmother of rock and roll.
She was a phenomenal showwoman.
It's all here at pbs.org/blackculture.
Silicon Valley begins on a very specific morning.
We had to leave. We had really burned our bridges.
The story of how the information age began.
This was something that was going to change everything.
And where the future was born.
This little thing that he had helped to invent was going to change the world.
Probably the most important invention of the last 100 years.
Silicon Valley on American Experience.
I grew up on a farm right near Dedrick, Missouri, and did all the farm stuff, FFA, and high school at Elrod Springs, Missouri. Went to college at MU, majored in agriculture, got out and turned down some other job opportunities because I always wanted to farm. And I enjoy meeting the people that are involved in Missouri agriculture. We've had some just really unique and interesting people on our show, talking about special projects that they're doing, the shape of things to come, some disagreements sometimes over policy, but I do enjoy it and enjoy Missouri people, and I enjoy communicating about agriculture.
Hi, I'm Galen Doty. And I'm Wes Hinches. We invite you to join us right here on Agro Legacy.
Our mission is to help you pass your legacy to the next generation the best way possible.
That's Agro Legacy, right here on KMOS-TV.
Thank you for watching KMOS Channel 6.1, Sedalia, Warrensburg.
As Kim mentioned, last Sunday was a very special day for him and his family as he was inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame in Springfield. Our KMOS crew was there, and we'll take a look now at some of the highlights of a very special day for the Anderson family.
Well, first of all, it's a great honor. Having spent some time earlier today in the Hall of Fame, going through all the exhibits and all the people who have been inducted, it's certainly a very humbling award or honor for me. I actually found out about it in December when I was at an event down here in Springfield honoring Norm Stewart and two former Missouri players, Willie Smith and Derek Chivas. And at that time, they made the announcement that I would be inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. So, it's a great thrill for me, and obviously it reflects on so many different people, not just me. I've had so many good people help me during my career, and I'm just honored to be a part of this. I think it starts with your family, and growing up, my dad was a teacher, and I always had the availability of some place to go play. You know, when it was 20 below zero, my dad always had a key to a gymnasium, and he worked with me and helped me and become a good basketball player. And then obviously I've had great coaches, great high school coaches, a man named Jim Dinsdale who will be here today, and Dave Porter, two guys that really helped shape me when I was young. And then on to the University of Missouri and Norm Stewart. You know, I think Norm is a guy who just helped me get better as a player, and I also learned a lot from him as a coach. And you know, I think those are probably my main influences as far as a basketball career goes. I'd be remiss without mentioning my family. You know, my wife Melissa and I have been married for 35 years, and we've been all over the world. And she's followed me all over and helped me and supported me. And you know, coaching and playing has highs and lows, and she's been with me the whole time. And of course, my two boys, Ryan and Brett. Ryan's a second-year grad student at Central, and Brett's a junior at Missouri. So I think those are probably the main people that have helped my career. You know, the other neat thing about this is we're also, the Hall of Fame is also honoring the three members of our track team, and they're going to be here tonight too, and so it's kind of really a special deal. It's got a little Central Missouri flair to it, and we talked this morning at our reception about the great programs at Central Missouri. Well, I started, you know, I played basketball in high school and went to the University of Missouri, played at Mizzou, graduated, was drafted in the NBA by the Portland Trail Blazers. My first year out of school, I went to Europe. I went to Italy and played. The next year I came back and played with Portland, and then I went back to Italy, and then I spent a year in France, and so I played 4 years professionally. When I finished, I wanted to coach, and so I went back to the University of Missouri, and Norm Stewart gave me the opportunity to be a graduate assistant, and I did that for 3 years. And then I was hired at Baylor University by Gene Iba, who's a former Pitt State coach, and stayed there 6 years. And then Coach Stewart had an opening, and I went back to Missouri and stayed there for 8 years. And then in 1999, when he retired, I went to the Big 12 Conference as assistant commissioner for basketball in Dallas, and was there for 3 years. And then, you know, one spring day, Jerry Hughes called me and asked me if I'd be interested in coaching Central Missouri. I grew up in Sedalia. My wife's family's from Lee Summit. My sister's an All-American at Central and senior associate AD now. And my dad had run track, and I'd grown up around the school. And I was always, I always thought it was a great school. And so I came and visited with Jerry and decided to be the head basketball coach. And been there 11 years, or almost 11 years now. So that's kind of my history.
Congratulations once again to Kim on a very well-deserved honor. Coming up next on Sports Page, we'll take a look at how all of the UCM teams performed last week, and then Jenny's head coach Dave Slifer joins us. That's coming up when Sports Page continues right after this.
The pioneers of television return to PBS.
I'm sitting there in tears in my living room watching it.
We learned the truth about America.
White actors were willing to break each other's legs to be in the show.
I mean, these novels were just the best stuff ever.
And I find myself in the biggest melodrama of all time.
The saga of an American family.
I choose to be independent, to blaze my own trail. I choose what to create, how to organize, and where to share.
Choose Red began as an inspiration and has grown into a way of life. Ever since the Choose Red campaign began in January 2011, students have been at the heart of the effort. All of our ads feature current UCM students. Who better to tell the UCM story than those who have experienced what it means to choose Red and the opportunities they've had because of that choice. In August of 2012, the office responsible for development of the campaign held open auditions in the Elliott Union. University Relations staff members met more than 100 talented students who made the decision to choose Red. The students shared their stories and their talents with us in hopes of being able to become part of the official Choose Red campaign. UCM students who audition will have the chance to be in any number of Choose Red campaign materials, such as TV commercials,
30-second radio spots, web videos, billboards, brochures, ads, and numerous print publications. Even Central Man stopped by to add to the fun and excitement of Choose Red Auditions 2012. With so many students willing to be part of the campaign, it's no wonder a record number of students have once again decided to choose red.
You're watching KMOS Channel 6.1, Sedalia, Warrensburg.
We're back on this week's edition of Sportspage here on KMOS-TV. You've seen how the men's basketball team performed. Now here's a look at how the other UCM sports teams performed over the past few days. The Jennies basketball team, and we're going to talk to Dave Slifer here in just a moment, got their win in Jefferson City last night as well, 77-67. The Wrestlers won a pair of matches on the road, defeating Lindenwood on the 24th, 20-15. Tim Tawakaway had the clinching match for the Mules. And then the next night, the Mules went to McKendree College in Lebanon, Illinois, and defeated McKendree 25-17. Clarence Neely, newcomer, who is undefeated for the Mules at 184, he won the clinching match. That puts the Mules record now 6-6 in dual matches, 2-2 in the MIAA. The track and field team competed at the KU Invitational on the 25th last week at the Jayhawk Classic. For the Mules, Laban Cialo finished second in the mile. Zach Thompson was fourth in the shot put. And for the Jennies, Alyssa Kyle was 10th in the 800, and Haley Hewer was 10th in the shot put. In the new Division II coaches poll for track and field, the Mules are ranked 13th, and the Jennies are ranked 10th. We're back on this week's edition of Sports Page now with Jennies head coach Dave Slifer joining us. And Dave, welcome to the show.
Bill, great to be here.
And there never seems to be a dull moment with your team this season.
It sure seems that way, but fortunately, as my one of my bosses, Kathy Anderson, says, your team does like to win, so that's a good deal.
Always good to do that. We'll start with last Saturday's home game against Northwest Missouri. The Bearcats jump out to a 14-0 lead, led by 16 at one point in the first half. Were you starting to think that this might be a repeat of the Fort Hays game earlier in the season?
A lot of people told me that the people that weren't even at the Fort Hays game that listened to the radio.
They heard and it wasn't pretty.
Oh, it was a long night. I tell all my coaching buddies, if you ever feel really bad about yourself, you might just download that tape and then you'll feel a little bit better. And because that thing was a nightmare. And against Northwest, I mean, we weren't close to scoring either. That 14-zip, we were not even close to scoring. And we were fortunate and did a pretty good job of battling back to get within a couple points at halftime and go ahead and win that game.
Did you feel like you were back in it at halftime when you had cut the lead back to 2?
Yeah, no, I felt like we were in pretty good shape then if we withstood that deal. And their zone caused us problems. We haven't played against the zone hardly at all, and Bree Lewis really, missed a couple threes, but she's our main three-point threat. And second half, she uncorked, I think, 5 of them. So we were able to get our lead and make some good things happen.
Obviously, you must have given another inspiring halftime talk because the Jennies did come out, as you said.
And I think I'll take credit for the pregame talk too, Bill. The 14-zip pregame talk that, and it's so funny because the game before with Missouri Western, we started off, we were up 12-1. And by halftime, they'd caught us. So this league is a league of runs right now. And, we would love to have a game where we win by 25 or 30 points, but we have not had one of those, Bill.
Last night, you're in Jefferson City, the first of 4 straight road games, and you're facing a pretty good Lincoln team. And again, it's a struggle in the first half as we take a look at some of the highlights from last night's game in Jefferson City.
Well, Lincoln is a good ball club. They just got done beating Missouri Western there. So there's Nicole inside knocking down a shot there.
Jennies are in red, of course. Lincoln in white.
Again, looking for Nicole again. And in the first half, I thought she made some great moves and didn't get a lot to go down and didn't really get too many whistles. But the second half, she got some shots to go down, and she ends up with 15 rebounds.
She had a career game, maybe not her best career game, but certainly one that would stand out. 20 points, 15 rebounds, 4 blocks, 4 steals. I think you'd take that about every night, wouldn't you?
About every night, and she did get her 1,000th point and 600th rebound, so congratulations to her.
That puts her in some pretty elite company. She's only the 24th Jenny's player to reach 1,000 points, and only 2 other players have done it faster than she has in that many games.
Now, is Kathy Anderson one of them?
I'd have to check back to be sure.
I think somebody told me that. I think Shelby Winkleman hopefully will come back from her injury and maybe beat Kathy's record there. There's Kiana Flax just attacking.
Another great game for Kiana. 22 points, 11 rebounds.
8 of them offensive, and we're down 4. We got fortunate to cut it to 4 right at the end of the half here. And this is the first play from the second half. We reversed the ball 3 times, and Bree Lewis made a nice one dribble jumper right there. That's something I didn't think we saw much of the first half. It was not very good ball movement.
What other things did you do better in the second half?
Well, Brielle Watley, I mean, she made a couple of threes. I just felt like that defensively we were more under control and got some things going with them. And then offensively, we just took it inside to Nicole and Flax, and they really pounded it and made some plays. But I tell you what, it's a lot more fun to play when Quenisha Twine makes 10 points, Bree Lewis had 13, and then Brielle Watley had, I think they credit her with 9, but I have a feeling that she had 6, and one of her threes probably should have gone to Bree Lewis, but I think really she ended up at 6.
Well, Bree's got plenty. She can afford to share one.
There you go. That's a good teammate. That's a good teammate to help out there.
We mentioned the game that Nicole had, and as you said, she obviously had plenty of help. Kiana with a double-double, 13 for Brianna, 10 for Quenisha, 9 for Brielle Watley. And you get that kind of effort from your team, you're going to win most of your games.
Yes, that was exciting. Now, unfortunately, the bench kids didn't have a great night. I think we got 3 points from the bench is all, which that's strange because usually they've done a little bit better than that. And Simone Murray struggled the last few games and didn't score this game, but she at least started looking to the rim a little bit. There's the reigning MIAA Player of the Week, Kiana Flax, with the 3-point play.
And you may have the front runner for that honor after last night in Nicole.
I sure hope so. I hope she has a great game down in Lindenwood. And the other day in practice, I swear she made 5 shots in a row, and it's been since last year that I remember her making 5 in a row. I mean, she just hasn't shot it as well or made as good of moves earlier this year, and all of a sudden the light bulb kicked in the other night, and she just really looked really good yesterday.
There's Nicole again. She's going to drive and get another basket.
Well, anytime that, those two are very hard matchups because they can take you outside, they can put the ball on the deck and then score it, and then they can also take it to the low post also.
Brianna, and we've talked about her before, she just looks like there's a groove somewhere at some point in the game. And when she gets in it, she's pretty much unstoppable.
Well, I kind of told her that last night. I said, you know what, for 8 minutes a game, you're by far the best player in the conference. But those other 32, we got to start getting a little bit more consistent. That play right there is ridiculous. Flax, gets her own offensive rebound and tips it in. She just plays with such strength. There's Brianna Embry throwing it ahead to Quenisha Twine, who they'd cut the game to 5 points right there. We were kind of wanting to run clock, but Nisi knocked down an important shot.
And there's Nicole at the free throw line, and Jen's walkout of Jason Jim with a 77-67 lead. They've got one of the better players in the league, in Ariana Walker, and she was a load in the first half.
She was a load. Brianna Embry slowed her way down in the second half. Breezy played, very good defense, and really, she's one of the best defenders, if not the best defender in the league right now. And that's why she ends up playing at the end of the games, because we need to have somebody that's a defensive stopper. She ends up playing point, and she's not, she's just an adequate point guard, but we can't have her out of there because of her defensive abilities.
You're tied for second, just a game back in the loss column, which is probably where you want to be, other than first place, I guess. If there's a choice, you would take first, but this is good enough right now in the standings. St. Charles on tap for Saturday night to play the team that's in last place. Will this be the game, you think? Do you get the full 40-minute effort you've been looking for?
We would love for this to be the game, but we kind of thought when we went to Kearney we'd have that type of game, and it ended up being about a 5-point game. So, you know what? Today in practice, we've kind of decided that we're tired of talking, we're tired of doing everything. What we're going to do is shoot for 15 minutes, lift weights, then watch a little of the second half from the night before and eat some fried chicken. So I think we're going to relax tonight. Thursday practices are tough anyway because you usually come back from either a road game or a home game, and there's not a lot you want to get done. And we'll start talking about Lindenwood tomorrow probably. Now Lindenwood is playing tonight on Thursday. How much of a factor do you think that's going to be? Having one last day, right? Yes, they're in Southwest Baptist. And that's a fairly good drive. The conference is so messed up this year, but I tell you what, as a coach, it's kind of fun on these off days, I want to call them, is that you can go home, get on the internet, and watch as many games as you want to on the computer. So it's kind of fun to see everybody else play live. Going into last night's games, there were 4 clear-cut teams that were in the top 4 spots, and that's obviously where you want to finish as far as the conference tournament's concerned, so you get the first round bye. And there really aren't very many head-to-head games left between those 4 teams. You've got Washburn. That'll be a huge game at the end of the season, but most of the 4 teams that are up there right now are playing the bottom teams in the league, so it's going to be take care of business and then see what happens when you get to go head to head. Well, it is, and that's why these things are so important, and that's why you'd like to think you'd get to a 20-25 point lead so you could kind of relax into the game, and because otherwise, if we keep playing these close games, sooner or later somebody's going to nail us down, and Truman did on the road a couple weeks ago. Truman's a very good team. I mean, they're a very good team. I'm glad we've got them back at the multi here later on this month. There's one statistic that impresses me about your ball club, though. Leading with 5 minutes or less remaining, you are 13-0. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And I tell you what, our end game has been very, very good. And it's bizarre because a lot of times we haven't played great up to that point. And all of a sudden it just clicks in with these kids that they don't like to lose. And so they find ways to get it done. And it's kind of interesting because it's different people all the time. It may be Kiana Flax one time. It could be Nicole Caudell. Could be Brianna Lewis. So it's everybody kind of chips in on this. You're playing Lindenwood Saturday, the last place team in the league. How do you try to convince your team that you got to play tough for 40 minutes? Well, I'm not going to complain and coach them up right now. We've decided that it's time to kind of change what we're doing. I mean, it's a time of year where they're tired of listening to coaches. Coaches are tired of talking to them. And so that's why I can't wait for today's practice, just to kind of relax a little bit, enjoy the kids. And bottom line is enjoy the journey a little bit. I mean, we're 16-2 right now, and seems like all we do is complain that we want to play 40 minutes, and let's quit worrying about that. Let's enjoy each other, and then find a way to do that. It's not exactly like you're struggling with your season right now. No, not at all. I mean, it's and I tell you what, this bunch is a great bunch to be around. They are a very enjoyable bunch of kids. They're a lot of fun, very respectful bunch. They just don't play hard for 40 minutes yet. So once we get that, it's going to be perfect. Last night's win got you in some pretty elite company at 16-2 through the first 18 games. In checking back through the media guide, I could find only 4 other teams in Jenny's history that had a 16-2 record or better, 17-1, after 18 games. Well, that's neat because we've obviously got a storied history here at Jenny basketball, and it's a fun tradition. And I tell you what, we had an alumni game last Saturday that was a blast. I mean, we had most of the kids were back from my era, but we did have some from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and they had a great time too. And I think we'll do that at least every other year from now on, and maybe small scale do every year just a little bit, because it's just fun to have everybody come back and kind of unite the different age groups. You're playing 4 in a row on the road. You've already got the first one in the win column. How important was that, and how would you have assessed the situation differently had you not won last night? Well, I think we'd be in definitely trouble as far as any type of conference title goes, because I don't see Washburn losing a lot of games. They may slip up and lose a game or two, but we want that game at the end of the year with Washburn to be the important game. And what we got to do right now is take care of business. And as I was looking before this 4-game road string, we had played the least road games of anybody in the conference so far. We'd only had 4 road games total of the whole season. And so, we're kind of unproven yet on the road. We've had some nice wins, and yet we've had the fiasco at Fort Hays. And so, there's some things still up in the air a little bit about our team on the road. I thought last night in the second half we did put up 50 points, and we gave up 36, but there was a lot of possessions, and that was pretty darn good basketball to watch that second half.
And Washburn has the advantage in the schedule the rest of the way. They've got, last night they played at home, they've got 6 more home games left, only 3 on the road. And among the top 4 teams, the only one they play is you.
Was that okay? It's, Northeast Oak has been playing so well here lately. I did realize they'd already played them. So
I think so.
I think Washburn got beat at Northeast Oak is the way it worked. Okay, so it's up to us. We've got to take care of business with this road trip, take care of Truman at home coming up. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but you know what, Bill, as a coaching staff, once again, we are going to enjoy this journey.
Have fun.
Will do.
Dave, congratulations on the wins, and we'll hope the Jennies can pick up another one on Saturday afternoon.
Thanks, Bill. In
just a moment, we'll get to know Mule's standout decathlete, Brent Vogel. That's coming up next on Sportspage.
The journalists of PBS. They answer to no one but you. They take the time to explore all sides of a story. That's why PBS is trusted more than any other television news source. You deserve nothing less. Trusted, in-depth, independent.
What if television could open your eyes?
You give it your heart. You put everything that you have in it.
Could lift your spirit?
Welcome home.
It won't be long now. Could light up your world.
Like a vision when you came to me.
And why can't great art
Light up the sky.
flow into every living room freely, now and for generations to come? Support PBS and the people and programs that never stop asking, what if?
Light up the sky with the stars in our eyes. We can burn so brightly.
Hi, I'm Galen Doty.
And I'm Wes Hinches. We invite you to join us right here on Agri-Legacy.
Our mission is to help you pass your legacy to the next generation the best way possible.
That's Agri-Legacy right here on KMOS-TV.
You're watching KMOS Channel 6.1, Sedalia, Warrensburg.
I got started in track in grade school. In 6th grade, started at St. Joseph Cathedral School from Jefferson City. From there, I continued, kept doing it through high school, where I also played football. I ran the 400 all through high school. That was my main event. Eventually, my senior year, I decided to get into some multi-events. I just love the essence of track, doing all the different field events. I couldn't just stick to running anymore. So I had a coach specifically come in, Chip Malmstrom, who told me about the decathlon, and I knew nothing about it at the time. And ever since then, I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I told him I wanted to do it in college. He sent me here, and the rest is history. I walked on here, and he told me all about Kip Janvrin, and here I am. I'm just having fun. My coaches here, great relationship. Kip Janvrin, he's the best thing I could ever ask for. I'm so glad I was referred to him coming to Central. Like I said, I was a walk-on. I didn't know much about track other than the running part of it. So he taught me everything I knew. But that goes without saying. A lot of the GAs that come through here, they come through at about 2 years at a time. I have to give them a lot of credit. They sacrifice so much, they're given so little, and they care for us so much. It's kind of scary at times because they come and go so fast, and you think, man, like when one's gone, what am I going to do? I had a connection with this guy, but then Kip brings in another one, and you realize the beauty of it. You learn differently from each person, and you keep the things from the previous coages. So it's just a building experience, and I'm loving it right now. So everyone knows, track, like you said, is an individual sport, but there's a team aspect to it that a lot of people don't know about unless they've done track in college. We do a lot of work in the fall, and we have to work together. We work in units, about five people at a time in groups, running different intervals, sprint workouts. We do a lot of work together. We have to be dedicated and keep each other motivated. It's hard in the fall when there's competitions a long way away. We have to wake up every morning, lift, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, come to practice at 2 p.m., get our multi-work in. But yes, when it comes down to competition, it's all on you, and that's the beauty of track. But then, like everyone knows, there are a few relays, and the best one, the 4x4 relay, you really get to, look at your friend, your teammate in the eye, all the training you did, and put it all on the line. And once you hand the baton off, it's his turn. It's a brotherhood. I hope we can build a good relay this year. We're doing the best we can. In the previous years, we had some really good teams. Right now, we have kind of a young team, so we don't even know who's going to be on it. But it's exciting. I chose UCM because, first of all, the Division II caliber. I knew it was a great place to go to, a great program. They won a lot of conference championships. I wanted to be a part of a winning team because I never knew how good I would get. I knew I would do my best, but I want to be part of a winning team, a program that I knew was going to push me. I didn't want to go Division I because I didn't have faith that I was good enough at the time. I wasn't recruited by anyone, so by coming to a Division II school, I knew I could walk on and be given a chance, and they wouldn't shun me away. And they'd be like, yeah, if you want to work hard and do the best you can, sure, we'll see how good you can get. So I was given that chance, and the rest is history. I can't believe where I am right now. So that's why I chose UC. I am a biology major, chemistry minor. It's in the pre-med field. I want to go to chiropractic school one day. Not sure where I'm going to go yet for that. I've talked to a lot of different places. I've also picked up a second minor to stay eligible and working towards that. It's a fitness and wellness minors because I like the exercise physiology, biomechanics, and I'm helping out, tutoring some stuff in that. So, but yeah, that's my dream. I want to be a chiropractor one day, own my own practice, or go work with a professional sports team. But for now, I want to stay here and train and keep doing track as long as I can.
Brent and his UCM teammates will be competing Friday and Saturday at the indoor mule relays in the multipurpose building. Brent's another in a long line of outstanding student athletes from UCM that has been recruited from Jefferson City, Elias. He's already earned an automatic spot in the heptathlon at this season's NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championships. That'll take place March 8th and 9th at Birmingham, Alabama. Prior to that, he'll try to help the Mules win a 6th consecutive MIAA title at the MIAA Men's Indoor Championship, February 22nd through the 24th at the multipurpose building. In just a moment, we'll show you where all of the UCM teams are competing for the next few days as Sportspage continues on KMOS-TV after this.
I choose to accomplish my goals.
I choose to follow through, to finish my degree.
I choose a university that's convenient and close to home.
I choose Red to transfer my credit hours without any hassles.
I choose Red to
to graduate on time.
The University of Central Missouri Summit Center in Lee Summit has academic programs designed to help you finish your degree and discover your potential. Learn more at choosered.ucmo.edu.
Load up your golf clubs, grab your spikes, and head out to the first tee. As our way of saying thank you for your financial contribution at the $50 level or higher, KMOS will send you a member card. In addition to great discounts at restaurants, attractions, and bed and breakfast all across Missouri, the member card also offers 2-for-1 greens fees at several Missouri golf courses. Improve your swing while taking in beautiful lake vistas. Or experience the Rumble at America's only golf course above an active mine. Take your game to the next level by playing around on us. Call 1-800-753-3436 and support KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS. Thank you.
Thank you for watching KMOS Channel 6.1, Sedalia, Warrensburg.